An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Benjamin Franklin. Hello. You are listening to the Manifesto on Purpose show. I am your host, Kimbaley. I am here to help you manifest on purpose. That means I'm here to help you become a conscious creator in your life. Thank you so much for sharing your time and energy with me today. Thank you for all of those you've invited, and thank you for subscribing here and on the website at Kimbaley, KIMBALEY.com. The God in me loves the God in you. And speaking of subscribing on the website, if you have not gotten the meditation for the Jupiter-Venus conjunction, make sure that you subscribe so that you can be able to download that guided meditation. On a scale from 1 to 10, how well are you taking care of yourself? I'm going to jump into that because that's an important question to me. But before we get into topic, let's hear our Astro-Numerology forecast for today, courtesy of Astro-Numerologist LLoyd Strayhorn and the Star 8 Numerology app. It is Monday, May the 20th. The sun is in Taurus. The moon is in Libra, entering the sign of Scorpio at 6:34 p.m. It's a 4 universal month, a 7 universal week, and a 6 universal day. Today is about being of service unconditionally without any strings attached. By doing so, it will enhance and as well as increase the respect from others that's likely to take you a long way going into the closing days of the month. So, promises and commitments made cannot just be mere empty words, because if you do, it will be dearly noted when your turn comes around or when it's your turn to ask for a favor. It's called the boomerang effect. This is true if you happen to be coming under the zodiac signs of Taurus, Libra, and those born on the 6th, 15th, or 24th of any month. Once again, that is our Astro-Numerology forecast for today, courtesy of Astro-Numerologist LLoyd Strayhorn. You can get that app and get your forecast every day. Download it at astar8.com. You can also get it on Google Play in the App Store, or you can also go to linktree/numbers and you. If there's some things about yourself that you don't quite understand and you would love to get to know yourself better, you should get your numerology report so it can tell you about your characteristics, your traits, who you are as a person. It will also let you know about what you are here to learn, your life path number. Also, you can get a compatibility report. You can get your yearly forecast so that you can plan for the rest of the year and the beginning of next year. And you can also get a business report. You can find all of these reports at Kimbaley, KIMBALEY.com. Now let's get back to the show. Let me tell you, if you've never been to a car auction before, you just don't know what you've been missing. It started out being my dad's thing. He always needed a driver. He bragged about how fun it was and the cars he purchased and resold. Before long, he had me sold on the idea of being his driver. I don't know how that happened, but the first trip was so exciting. Daddy and I engaged in goofy conversations on the 2-hour trip there. I didn't ask, but I was always thinking, Are we there yet? It was worth the wait because when we finally arrived, I was in awe of the car lot full of used cars for sale. Now, this is how it went down. Daddy gave me the rules first. He said, before the auction begins now, walk around and check out the lot. Check out the cars, start them up, and take them for a drive to make sure that there were no issues with the car. I was thinking to myself, issues with the car? As long as it was cute and it drove, it was all right by me. So checking out the cars was kind of fun for me, but I got to this one cute little car. It was a green one, and I fell in love with it. I told Daddy. He said, "Girl, what in the world do you want with that little ugly car?" And I responded in my childlike voice, "Because I like it." He said, "Okay, go ahead and try it out." Happily, I did. However, I was so excited about that car. All I thought about was, this is the perfect car for me. To add a cherry on top, the price was right, and off to the bidding we went. Daddy even let me do my own bidding, and I was ecstatic to win that bid. I then wrapped up the paperwork, and just like that, we were back on the road again. Daddy even let me drive the new car home as he followed closely behind. I was in the wind, music blasting, hair blowing in the wind. For a quick second, I decided to look up at my rearview mirror, and I noticed Daddy flashing the headlights, signaling me to pull over. At that point, I was thinking to myself, what does he want now? He walked right up to my window and he asked me a question that I thought was kind of strange. He asked me if I had thrown any liquid out of the car. I said no, and his response was the last thing I wanted to hear at that point. He said, "I think she's leaking oil." He then checked the oil and determined that it was enough for me to get home where he could further check it out. He found that there was a small oil leak. He told me that it would probably be okay and that I needed to make sure that I got regular maintenance and to keep a check on the oil levels in case the leak got worse. Well, during that time, all I wanted to do was ride. I paid no attention to what Daddy said. I wasn't trying to hear all of that. Every now and then I would check the oil and add oil as needed. Needless to say, it wasn't long after that the motor gave up and blew. By this point, I knew I couldn't even get mad at it because I did not perform the regular maintenance as suggested by Daddy. Are you taking good care of yourself? I mean, really. It's just us. Keep it real for yourself. Are you taking good care of yourself? This question goes far beyond I'm eating, I'm working, I'm surviving. I don't want you to be one of the ones that say, I'm okay, when you are really neglecting self-care. Just like how I swore to Daddy, I was taking the car for regular maintenance, knowing darn well that I wasn't. Avoiding those important checks led to a lesson to be learned. That's exactly why I'm checking on you. I hope that this message will prompt you to have a self-check on yourself. The reason why this is so important to me is because some people feel that they are absolutely fine, not knowing that they really are not. I can remember one of my grandmother's morning prayer routines. She always said, "Lord, thank you for clothing me in my right mind." I didn't know what it meant at the time, but now it makes a lot of sense. I know that most people look at self-care as watching your diet, exercising, balancing work and home and family, but a large part of self-care is protecting your mental. Your mind affects the body. If your mental health is not in a good state, you leave the door open for other things to slip in, such as stressful situations, poor health, bad relationships, and overall not being able to manifest your desires. The best way to tackle these problems is to avoid them as much as possible. After all, Benjamin Franklin said, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Daddy was smart to tell me to schedule maintenance on the car after he found out about the oil leak, but I decided to take the shortcut to keep on driving. If only I had listened. Just like your vehicle, the journey to well-being requires regular, scheduled maintenance. Mental maintenance, that is. There are no shortcuts allowed. Today, I'm going to share with you a few types of mental maintenance you can be doing. Number 1, this is something that a lot of people neglect to do. You should be imagining your vision. Imagine yourself at the climax of your life. This is a time in your life that you have everything you ever wanted and wished for. Go ahead, try it. How does it make you feel? Now hold on to that vision in your mind and continue to replay it on a daily basis. I must warn you with this one. There is a huge possibility of you feeling more inspired to achieve the goals of that vision. This will serve as motivation. Number 2, you should be reminding yourself that you are enough and there are no explanations needed. It can be easy to just go ahead and follow the status quo. After all, it seems that those who don't usually are looked at as different. You are meant to be who you are, no matter what circumstances are. And for those who don't like it, oh well, they'll get over it. Don't ever let anyone diminish or devalue who you are. You won't believe that a lot of people neglect this one. Number 3, show yourself that you genuinely love yourself. Go ahead and pamper yourself. Have that last cupcake. Do something nice for yourself. No one can ever love you the way that you can. The more you love yourself, the greater your ability will be to love others. Number 4, you need to spend time alone, especially for those who never like to be alone. To me, intimacy means look into me and see. I don't quite remember where I get it from, but anyway, you can't love yourself if you do not have a full understanding of who you really are. Intimacy starts with self, going within, determining your strengths and your opportunities for growth. Time spent alone could be meditating, journaling, working out, your hobbies, or even something as simple as doing nothing. That's how Deepak Chopra says that he meditates. He said he just does nothing. I describe this as being in the world, but not of the world, because this is the time to shut off everything that's going on around you. That's the only way you'll be able to hear yourself think. Being able to think leads to making better choices in life. And last but not least, of course I'm going to say, monitor your intake and output. This is number 5. What types of energy are you allowing into your mental or physical space? Be careful of taking on the beliefs of others. And this goes back to knowing yourself. What are you saying to yourself about yourself? Surround yourself with people and places that align with your purpose. For example, if someone's vision is to play football, I doubt if you will see that person spending most of their time on the basketball court. About the hardest thing I've ever had to do was to tell my daddy, "You told me so." And this is because he thought he knew everything. And trust me, I had to tell him that a few times before. He seemed as if he was already waiting for me to come just so he could say, "I told you so." But I understood that was my dad. Some of our best moments together were being at that auction. I'll never forget the first day I bought my first car at the auction. It wasn't the last, but from the lessons learned after the first one, I never neglected again to thoroughly check each car out before purchase and to perform regular scheduled maintenance after purchase. How about you? Are you neglecting to schedule regular mental maintenance? Your mind affects your body. Well-being starts in your mind. Create a schedule to imagine your vision, your story. Remind yourself that you are enough. Don't hesitate to show genuine love to yourself. And it's not being selfish. It's being self first. Make sure you're being intimate with yourself by spending time alone. And last but not least, monitor your intake and output. The key to well-being and a well-balanced state of mind is to schedule regular mental maintenance. Because as Benjamin Franklin once said, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. I love you to life. This is how you manifest on purpose.